I just did a brain dump after looking at the calendar for the next week and realized that I got a lot of things I would like to do today to get ready for next week. Kind of a weekly reset approach. And I thought I'd take you along with me and we could just hang out and get some stuff done together. I will tell you what I'm looking at. Okay, so I need to get my boys' party invitations for their birthdays all wrapped up and ready for delivery. They're gonna hand them out. I need to do all of next week's lesson planning. I don't have anything planned for next week. I mean, I could certainly wing it, that would be fine, but I would like to have a little bit of a framework. I need to plan the meals for the next week to make sure that I have the groceries that I think I do for it. I need to pay my bills, our bills. I don't feel like doing that. I gotta get some laundry done. I don't feel like doing that. Fall comforter, I need to put the fall comforter on our bed because it's actually colder in the house now than the air conditioning keeps it. So I'm gonna put that on there. I need to make the kids calendar that goes on the fridge each month. And then on there, I write what their main activities are for the day, like school and karate or whatever it is, so that when they look at the calendar for the day, they can know what to expect. I also need to do their October checklist. They have a checklist for getting themselves ready for the day and a checklist for chores. And I kind of tweak it a little bit each month, depending on what the needs are of the house. And I gotta do like all the paperwork on my desk. I also don't feel like doing that. So I'm gonna start with the stuff that I really need for tomorrow, which is the day you're gonna be watching this. So I'm only, 12 hours ahead of when you're watching this. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is the kids calendar that goes on the fridge for the month, because that's just based off the family calendar and it's just stuff that they need to know. So that's the first thing I'm gonna work on. And their chores checklist. Those are easy things for me to cross off my list and get some things done with me. Tell me below in a comment, what are you thinking about getting it done? What are you getting done alongside of me? Are you washing dishes? Are you doing some laundry? Are you resting on the couch? Because that is something and that deserves credit and you're doing something for yourself. Okay, so, all right. Blank October. I'm gonna do this, but I'm not gonna show you the end result because I don't want to publicize where we're going to be every day of the next 30 days. I don't think that's a smart move on my part. So let's do it. Checklist is just one that I made in Canva for free and I just adjusted each month. And this month I'm changing the top of it to have pumpkins and I'm changing the color to yellow so they notice that it's different. And I'm also adding a task for them, a daily task where they need to pack their backpacks. It's something we've been doing every day of September. And so now I'm just adding it as a checklist item for them. My kids have done really well. We've been doing this for 5 months now, this monthly checklist, where it helps them know every single day what my expectations are for getting themselves ready and being a participating member of the household. You got to do a couple of chores that are on point for your age. And I call them Team Kids house chores. The kids do them themselves, that they work together as a team to get it done. So it takes me like 10 minutes to write out the calendar for them to have on the fridge. And that's the kids' calendar. That's part of our school every day is to say, what is today? It's Monday, October 3rd. And they can see that and they cross off the day before. And just practice for days of the week We sing songs for days of the week, months of the year, blah, blah, blah. That takes me 10 minutes to prep for them for the whole month. And then I spend about 5 minutes doing their checklist. Now, for lesson planning for homeschool, I generally tackle it by month and make a framework for myself for the month. So this was September's. It actually worked really, really well. I did not do a couple of things that I wish I would have done, wish we would have done in September. We just didn't prioritize that as part of our day. That specifically was quiet reading time. I like to do that every day. We've been away from it now for a couple of weeks, and I'm bringing that back in October. October is a great time to curl up on the couch with a book, and we all do it at the same time. We're quiet, and we've built up to 20 minutes for quiet reading. So that's gonna come back in. Everything else really shook out. We went on 3 field trips in September. We did a lot of reading, a lot of math. So this schedule is actually pretty great, and I'm gonna keep it. And instead of printing it again with the new month, I'm just gonna at the top write September 20. I already have it as September 2022. I'm just gonna write and October 2022. So that kind of helps me frame out what I want to do on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Co-op. So the day kind of gets burned, but it's pretty great because we have almost 90 children in our co-op, our homeschool co-op. It's pretty fantastic. We start with yoga. Everybody starts with yoga, and then they move into teaching teams where a child had prepared for the week, and it's all on a schedule, a presentation about anything they want to present on. So my daughter taught everybody how to draw fall leaves. My 8-year-old taught everybody architecture and how to draw a floor plan because he wants to be an architect when he grows up. And then they do group work in the co-op that was predetermined, like building a bridge out of paper cups, or building a bridge out of foil and toothpicks and straws. So they have to work as a team, and it's pretty fantastic. And then they go to the playground for about an hour. So I just need to plan, kind of sketch out what I want to do for the week. Everybody has curriculum, actually, and we're done our science curriculum. We did the human body for almost 6 weeks, and they cut out their organs, paper organs, and then glued them onto giant size versions that they trace themselves. So that unit is done. I actually need to take that stuff down. We're gonna do that in this video. I'm gonna take that stuff down and prep for the next science unit, which they wanted to learn more about planets in the solar system. So that's easy peasy. I got books organized in my library here at home. And then I have unit study upstairs, stuff upstairs too. So that'll be easy. My husband's Aunt Mel, gifted this to the children. It's a Charlie Hopper memory game. If you're familiar with Charlie Hopper, he's an artist, and the pieces are just small cardboard pieces of his artwork. And it's a memory game, so you flip them over and you find all the matches. They love it. And this was her mother's, and she gifted it to us, and I thought that was incredibly special. And so I went to the library and got some books by Charlie Hopper. So we're gonna do kind of like a deeper sort of art study into Charlie Hopper. And that's what we're gonna do for art this week. We're gonna read Lemonade in Winter. Start to talk about. So for group, collective, I'm just gonna add in, we're doing a unit study on money. As the 3 of them, I have a kindergartner, a 2nd grader, and a 3rd grader. So we're gonna do a unit study, small little unit study this week on money, which is basically, I'm just gonna get real money, real coins, and have them understand penny, nickel, dime, quarter, dollar bill, $5 bill. And we're gonna read Lemonade in Winter, a book about 2 kids counting money. I'm just gonna pop that on Monday and Wednesday. Money, unit, study, and that's just sort of touching base review I do every little now and then. Okay, social studies already pre-done. We're using Story of the World, so that's in there. I just read the next section and I have everything printed out in advance for the activities in a folder. So it's reading, quiet reading, they choose whatever book they want. So I need to prep science. And that'll be our morning collective. That's what we call morning collective, where we do all of those things together. And then I do kindergarten math and reading, second grade math and reading, and third grade math and reading. And that usually brings us up to lunch. All right, let's do science. Let's clean up science. We use this as the foundation, this book, for 6 weeks. And it just has things that I copied on my copy printer, and then they colored and cut them out and did it that way. So we would just reuse this. And then they traced themselves about 6 weeks ago, and we've been working through 1 or 2 organs or bone structure each week. And then they also have a human body puzzle that they did a bunch of times throughout this unit study. I am going to save them for their portfolios, and I'm writing their names in case they want to get them back out. These are the portfolios. So everybody in my house is color coded so I can keep track. This is my third grader, second grader, and kindergartner, son, daughter, son. And I put stuff in here that they work on all month long. And then usually towards the end of the month or the beginning of the next month, I do a teacher in service day where the kids have off school and I do these portfolios. I do whites like once a week. So I'm just tossing whites to the side to do once the pile is big enough. And I usually just do it towards the end of the week for karate uniforms. 2 more things. Ooh, wait a minute. He has his uniform in here. Erg. Okay. So I just saw my husband's work uniform, and that means I'm going to have to do colors next no matter what. This is my hair clip I've been looking for. This can go with dark center. Is it bottomless? Golly gee. Gonna have to do at least that so he has his uniform. Looks like 2 loads of colors. I use a drops pod per load, and then I add vinegar as my softener. I was pretty skeptical at first of trying the vinegar softener. And the first couple of loads, I definitely put too much because it smelled like vinegar when it came out, so I had to wash it again, or at least rinse it. And now I feel like I've got it down, the amount of vinegar per load, and it really works. It softens the clothes, it deodorizes them, and it reduces static. I don't have staticky clothes coming out of the dryer anymore, so that really works. I got rid of fabric softener and dryer sheets, and then I use wool balls in the dryer. What did we come upstairs for? We came upstairs for something. Solar system, science unit. Okay, the closet. Remember I decluttered this, I think over the summer? Took me like 3 videos or 10 hours. No, it was like 6 hours, I think, if I remember correctly. Okay, so I organized it by shelf, right? Math, reading, I think this was science. This is social studies. I have some music and some Spanish over here, and then extra supplies. Alrighty then, science, social studies, let's see what I got. It's heavy, so it's too much. All right, electricity, seasons and weather, chemistry. Thought I had a social studies, or thought I had a solar system unit study. Soil investigations, surface crust mineral. Nah. The sun. Mercury, that's a no. having a little problem right now because I really can't see myself ever using these, but I printed them and I spent money on them. So I'm having a little bit harder time right now being like, okay, let's just recycle them or trash them, because the what if is plaguing me. Like, what if one of the kids really wants to learn about the Earth's crust? The decision to let go of that right now, because I'm saying no to it in this moment, feels forced. This is Kingdoms, and so anyway, it feels forced. I'm not going to make it right now. I'm going to put it back in the closet. Okay. And the reason I'm going to put it back in the closet, sometimes I have to just sort of like talk it out with you so that I get through my process. Okay. The reason I'm going to put it back is because you saw how easy it was for me to get science. Everything I have for science in that one bin. I just pulled it out, shopped real quick, and then I can put it back. No big deal. I can keep that in there. I don't have hundreds of things to sort through, and I know exactly where all my science materials are, so I can just pop that back and it's not a big deal. Now, it used to be a big deal a long time ago. Couldn't find anything. So this is not the right material for me right now. So this is where I would ask myself, what do I want them to learn as a 5-year-old, 7-year-old, and 8-year-old about the solar system, which is what they've expressed interest in as their next science unit? What do I want them to learn? Maybe names of planets, the order in which they distance from the sun, which ones are small, which ones are big, the gas giants. At least my 7-year-old and my 5-year-old. My 8-year-old, he likes to learn a little bit more. In fact, we have a whole playlist on YouTube of solar system videos that are approved that I have pre-watched and I allow him to watch. Mostly Kids Learning Tube, if you need a resource. But up here, when I decluttered all my books, I organized all my homeschool resources. So I have all of my solar system books up here. I think this is probably one of my absolute favorite resources. It's from Usborne or Usborne, however you say it, the fold out solar system. We have folded it out so many times I've had to tape it back together. But it's just, I mean, how fun is this, right? This whole thing could be my unit study, really. This is one of my 8-year-old's favorites. Professor Cat, Frontiers of Space. It's one of his favorites. How to be a space explorer. This one, I don't know, it's pretty interesting, but I feel like I was on the fence about this one when I was decluttering books before. And now that I have it out, as soon as I took it off the shelf, I was like, why do I have this? I'm gonna donate this. One day at a time, that's how we do it here. Small little declutters. The Mysteries of the Universe. This is just a gorgeous book from DK. This is my favorite. The Planets. We've had this for many years, also from DK Smithsonian. It's just a gorgeous book. I'm literally just taking off all the books that I have on the solar system. Galaxies, Gail Gibbons, she's fantastic. Galaxies, Galaxies, and then the Moon book. Lots of things to talk about with space. So what I'm going to do is use my resources that I have and plan a little unit study. And also I'm going to put this in the donate pile. Okay. I did a little shopping online. I was going to buy The Good and the Beautiful's Space Science unit, and it just looked like more that I wanted to do for space at this time with my 3 particular kids. I poked around in my own files, and I'd already previously bought a space unit study from Little Thinkers from Teachers Pay Teachers. So I printed what I wanted from that, which is basically just sort of the lesson plan. It looks like 12 lessons, and then I printed the lesson plan for each one with any activities that I wanted to do this time. And we do science twice a week. So this is 6 weeks of space science, which is awesome. And it comes with a little booklet that each of the kids will do. Every time we do a lesson, there's a little page that goes with it. And then of course we have our resources here that we'll use in tandem with that. and we'll watch videos that go along with the topic, like the sun's energy, patterns of days and nights, moon craters. Those are just examples from there that I'm looking. And that'll be our 6-week space unit. I also added to my Amazon cart this 3D space model. I thought that would be kind of fun to put together one of the weeks. So that's what we're gonna do for science for the next 6 weeks. Okay, where was my little like, lesson planning. Okay, that's science. That was the only thing I really needed to plan out. So cool. Lesson planning is done. We're approaching dinner time, so I gotta figure out what's for dinner next. And that'll do it. Yeah, that'll do it. That was actually pretty huge for me. I feel ready for the week. That was a great weekly reset. I feel really good, ready to Monday through Friday, this particular week. I feel like I've, got my seatbelt on, I'm ready to go. This is kind of like an old school sort of style video that I did where you just kind of hang out with me. Let me know in the comments what you did while you were watching this. Were you decluttering? Were you cleaning your kitchen, sitting on the couch, getting ready for the day, blow drying your hair? Well, I guess you weren't blow drying your hair because then you couldn't hear me, but maybe you were. I don't know. Tell me below. I read the comments. I really enjoy reading what everybody writes. I'm getting ready to do another clutter avalanche video because those cookbooks are really starting to bug me. So in the meantime, here's Clutter Avalanche Part 1. We're deciding to move something from one location to another location in your house means you have to move things from that location to this location and so on. That's an avalanche of clutter making decisions. Thanks for watching.